Hey guys, Grant here for dropshipdownunder.com.au. In this video, I'm going to give you free access to one of the most popular lessons inside our course. Let's dive in. Okay, in this lesson, I'm going to share with you a method that I use on a daily basis that enables me to get anything done that needs to get done, even when you don't feel like it. But before we do get into it, if you're getting any value out of our videos, please place the like button in a catapult and fire it over the castle wall. Subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and turn on all notifications. We also have some great free training on how to build a successful dropshipping business right here in Australia. And if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. All right, let's get into the lesson. Hey guys, Grant here, and welcome to the next section of the mindset training. In this lesson, we're going to cover the avatar view and the consciousness rings. So what is the avatar view? Well, we will get to that, but first I want to cover the self, what it is, and how to make it do your bidding. So an example explaining consciousness rings that I came across recently illustrates this perfectly. So in the middle here is you. This is your true self. This is your consciousness. This is, the voice that tells you your dreams and your goals, and you can think and reason, and this is you. This is in all essence you in the middle. So there really are a few other layers that people also identify with and listen to as well. So on the outside of that, you have your thoughts, you have your feelings, and also the environment as well to some extent. So most people tend to bounce between their thoughts and their feelings. Their thoughts can overcome their feelings, but they still identify and listen to their thoughts, which is not really your true self. So the problem with this really is that part of you that controls these thoughts and these feelings, it's very primal, and it's only meant to help you survive really at the end of the day. It's not meant for the modern world. This is just generally in response to something in your environment. So when we're evolving, this system was perfect for back in the day. We used to react to threats in our environment. So for instance, if there was a tiger in the environment, we would feel scared. Our thought would be to run. And this is perfectly in line with our true self, our consciousness. This is what we want. We want to survive. We want to get away from that tiger, right? So it's perfect. We have evolved perfectly for this scenario. However, this is not very helpful, say, if you're trying to get to a specific goal in the modern day, right? So if you're trying to call suppliers in real life, for instance, you might be scared of doing that, and your thought will be to run away. So just like in the previous example, your feeling has then dictated your thought, and you've decided to run. Okay, so this is not what you want. Your true self wants you to go and call the suppliers so that you can get to the next level of your business. So, but that primal feeling of being scared is actually controlling your thoughts, right? And it's making you run. So another example of this is if all of a sudden that I have a really massive craving and feeling to go and eat a nice juicy hamburger. This really is just a primal urge for me to survive and go and eat a high calorie meal, nothing more. So what will generally happen is the thoughts that I have, they'll attempt to justify that feeling logically, and they'll say things like, you've all had it. Anyone that's had a craving can relate to this, and your thoughts will start to try and justify it. Oh, you've been eating well all week, you deserve it. Oh, it's only one burger. Just go on, it's all right. But this is not what the true self wants. This is merely my thoughts trying to back up my feelings to eat the burger, okay? My true self is rational, and it's made a decision not to go and eat hamburgers all the time, all right? My true self has decided that it doesn't want to go and eat hamburgers all the time. So at the end of the day, this is just my thoughts trying to back up my feeling to go and eat it. So what begins to happen if you identify with your thoughts? You basically just get out of control. Because you identify with your thoughts and they are controlled by your feelings, and your feelings to an extent are also controlled by your environment and your basic survival instinct, and that was designed to keep you alive 10,000 years ago, like in the first example with the tiger. So it's not very practical for this day and age. So even worse still are people who identify with their environment at the most basic primal level and letting it control their feelings and thoughts. And you see this all the time at the English Premier League, soccer games where the fans are losing their minds because of their environment. They identify with the crowd, the group think, and let that basically control their feelings. And they'll get all fired up and riled up about because the group's doing it as well, and it will control their thoughts. It's absolute madness. All right, let's look at it in more of a modern day practical terms of it every day. So somebody that wants to quit their 9-to-5 job and they're looking to build an online business. So meet Dave. He's not real happy. He's got a 9-to-5 job, doesn't like it. His goal is to learn how to build an online business so that he can quit his job and live the dream and be happy, okay? So what's going to happen on Friday? Dave is going to go home with every intention of learning how to build his online business. So he's happy when he's on his way home. He's got every intention of going home and doing that. But when Dave gets home, he starts to feel a little bit lonely, Dave does. And so he thinks to himself, I feel a little bit lonely, but I've committed to staying home to build my business. So what Dave actually is going to do is he's going to apply logic to justify his feelings. Well, I've been working hard all week and feel a bit lonely. It's just a little, maybe a few hours, not that long. So what Dave's going to do, he's going to logically justify his feelings and he's going to go to the pub with his mates. Right, but because Dave, he's promised himself he's going to stay home and he's going to work on his business all weekend. So he tells himself, I'll go for a bit, but, I just won't drink. But then when he gets there, the whole crowd's there. They're all drinking. His friends, they're all partying. They're having a good time. So because Dave identifies with his feelings and his environment, he starts to have a couple of drinks. Can't hurt, right? So he thinks to himself, I've been saving money to build my online business, but I've been really lonely. And, this girl that's talking to me, she'd probably help me feel better, I reckon. So he justifies his feelings with a logical thought again. And, he starts to use the money that he was saving for his business to start buying this girl drinks all night, right? So now it's later in the night and Dave, he is completely wasted. Even though he was planning to stay home and work on his business, how did Dave get here? It's because he identifies and he listens to his completely ridiculous, stupid thoughts, right? Dave was supposed to sit at home, build his online business, but now Dave is absolutely wasted in the pub. His friends actually aren't even there anymore too, by the way. They've left and they've gone to hit on girls and they've left him all alone there with that girl. So all of the feelings and thoughts that he used to justify going there in the very first place no longer make any sense whatsoever. So Dave's now standing there spending all his money that he was going to spend on his business buying this girl drinks. So what happens now is some guy bumps into Dave and Dave feels angry on this basic animal level. Even though logically it doesn't even matter. People bump into each other all the time in a crowded space, right? So Dave, he's going to logically think, okay, this guy thinks I'm afraid of him. So Dave will back up his feelings with a logical thought, and Dave logically decides that the best course of action is to punch this guy in the face so that he knows that I'm not afraid of him. And of course, the other guy gets fired up and punches Dave back in the face. So now Dave is wrestling some random guy on the floor at 1 a.m. Saturday morning and has spent all of his money that he was going to spend on his business. Why? Well, Dave considers himself a really smart guy because, he listens to his thoughts, his logic. Not his feelings. He's not a feelings guy. He's a logical guy. He listens to his thoughts. But in reality, all of the other layers here are controlling his logical mind. That's not what he wants. All right? His thoughts are getting controlled by these other layers. And this is what 99% of people do. And this is what you need to try and avoid. You need to listen to that one voice in the middle. So this is what Dave should do. Go home, work on his business, learning how to build an online business so he can quit his job, be happy, and which will lead to his online lifestyle so he can go and do whatever he wants. But instead, Dave is rolling around fighting with somebody in a club. So this is what happens when you identify and listen into all the environment, the feelings, the thoughts that you have, and not what you actually want, what your true conscious self actually wants. All right? Well, that's all good, and now you know how your feelings and thoughts can control you if you let them. But now you just need to have a solid strategy to keep you on track. So that's where the avatar view comes into play. And when you master this, there's almost nothing that you can't do. So no, I'm not talking about this avatar. I'm talking about an avatar like this in a video game. So let's dig into how this works. Picture you, your true self. So the green circle in the middle, this is your consciousness, all right? You're the person holding the game controller in this video game, and they have control over everything and the rest of the things that make up you as the avatar in the game. So your thoughts, your feelings, and environment. This controller has control over all of that, which means you control this avatar, essentially. So essentially, your true self, your consciousness, is taking a third-person view of yourself. So by separating yourself from the avatar in the game, you can get it to do your bidding and make it do anything you want. And I've done this plenty of times since I've come across this method. I can basically make my avatar do anything I please. So when the alarm goes off in the morning and my avatar doesn't want to get out of bed, I just order it to. So I'm going to get into some examples here. So for instance here, maybe just sleep in today. You worked really hard yesterday. You know, it's so warm in here. We've all had these feelings. We hit the snooze. We don't get out of bed. You make up lots of different reasons in your head. But basically I just say, oh, okay, well, now you're going to get out of bed earlier each day. And you're going to have a totally cold shower every morning, no hot whatsoever. And I literally just punish the avatar for having those thoughts. Essentially, I'll just literally, I'll punish it. I'll say, no, I am in control. That's just a random thought. And now I'm going to punish it for it. So I can't do a 5-kilometer run today. I'm too tired. Well, okay. Well, is that right? Well, now you're going to be doing a 10-kilometer run instead. And I just, use my controller and make it do a 10-kilometer run. So, I could really use a drink, right about now. Instead of working, just, have a nice bevy, settle down and watch some TV, watch a movie, whatever. All right, well, now you're a non-drinker. No more alcohol for you whatsoever. And I have done this. I'm not saying for everyone that this is essential, but I have done this. When I was going to the point where my avatar would say, 3 o'clock every afternoon, it's time to start having bevies. That was an incredibly destructive habit, and I have now just ordered my avatar not to have drinks anymore whatsoever, and it doesn't. So it sounds pretty weird talking in the third person, I know, but this is the strategy that works for me really well, and I know it can for you too. So you need to catch these thoughts immediately, and if it's not in line with what you want, your true self, then it's just the avatar trying to do what it wants. The avatar has no option other than to do what you tell it to do. So think about the video game. If you move the controller left or right, it goes left or right. You just tell it what to do. All right? So I simply order my avatar to do things that I want him to do, and not the other way around. I don't let it control me. So what's actually happening here is you're training your mind to do what it's told, and not the other way around, where you're merely reacting to all of your thoughts and feelings that come in at random. So now you have a good understanding of how this works. I recommend that you actually start learning more about yourself and your current personality. So knowing more about your personality type, this will allow you to make lots more positive changes in your life and really get a hold of your direction in life. So you'll be able to identify the things that you need to change or improve on to become the person that you need to be to achieve all your dreams and goals. So a great place to start learning about yourself and get your personality type is the Myers-Briggs test. and I'll put a link below. So it's a very, very simple test, and it takes about 20 minutes, but it gives you a very good understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, and what your dispositions are. These are the sorts of things that this test really is accurate at bringing up. Okay, so I urge everybody to think about the consciousness rings and the avatar view as you're going through your workday, just to make yourself do the things that need to get done. And these are two really powerful methods to make yourself do these things, and not just listen to your thoughts and feelings and let your avatar take control. All right, you can't let the avatar take control. You hold the controller. All right, hope you got heaps of value out of that, and I will see you in the next lesson. Okay, hope you got some value out of that, and you can begin to implement this method into your life to get more done. I've added the link mentioned at the end of the video in the description as well, and I really do urge everyone that wants to learn more about themselves to go and do that Myers-Briggs test, because it really does help tell you a lot about your personality. It's a very good test, and it works really well. Okay, that's it for today. If you're getting any value out of our videos, please place the like button in a catapult and fire it over the castle wall if you haven't already. And subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly videos. And don't forget to check out our free training on how to build a successful dropshipping business right here in Australia. Link below in the description. Thanks, guys.